Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday evening Difference Makers Zoom. I am so excited that you guys took the time out of your busy schedule. And I know it's, with what's going on in the world. We are here to inspire you to take your life, your health, your finances, your friendships to a whole new level. And this is welcome to our ISA fam. I want to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Oh, my name is Christina Potter. I forgot who I am. I'm like, hello, maybe this would help. My name is Christina Potter, and I now live in the mountains of North Carolina. And I've been part of this incredible team and company for a little over 5 years. And it has changed my life in ways I can't even begin. And I know that I know without a doubt that if I hadn't said yes to Debbie and Jeff 5.5 years ago, I probably would have no hair right now because I would have pulled it all out. I'm a mother of 5, and with what's going on, and I was broken, and one brown box delivered to my door so big I couldn't even move it. I had to like shove it through my, from the delivery outside in the house, has forever changed my life. And you will be hearing different stories today from our teammates that are going to share their transformation and how it's transformed their lives. And I'm going to, let me share my screen really quick. I said I would, and I messed. Give me a second, guys. I don't need this. Share screen. Here we go. And let's do this. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. Here we go. So the company we are here to talk about, and the company that has changed our life, it's called Isagenix. Isagenix is a company that was founded about 18 years ago, and it is built on integrity. Everything you guys hear, you get to hear today, the stories about the weight loss, the story about the earnings, the story about the energy, the performance, the life-changing. Know that it was possible for us, it's possible for you. It takes a little bit of work, and it takes following the system. So this disclaimer, you're more than welcome to go to isagenix.com and read more into it. If you guys are unmuted, can you please mute yourself? Thank you so very much. Like I said, our company is built on integrity and the vision to impact the world's health. Our mission statement is to create the world's greatest health and wellness products and business opportunities that together will transform lives both physically and financially. Physically, I can't even talk today. Isagenix blends the best of science and nature, quality, nutrition, convenience, and simplicity. One other thing I wanted to say is, our health is our foundational pillar of living a magnificent life. And now more than ever, we're realizing that without our health, we got nothing. And there's a lot of people out there that are suffering because they have not taken the best care of their bodies. And I was one of those people. Prior to this, I tried everything else, and it was impossible to do. There were so many things to follow, and I was confused. And if you've ever tried to lose weight, or if you've ever tried to feel better and improve your health, and start your own home-based business, and you've struggled, you will struggle no longer if you follow our program. So stress, we all have that. And it's now more than ever, we got something for that, just letting you know. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and introduce our first speaker. Gina, I do not want to butcher your last name, beautiful. So I'm not even gonna try. You can do that for me. Not butcher it, but say it right. I want you guys to welcome this beautiful soul. She's a mother of a 6-year-old, an RN license. She's gone to school and got all the possible certifications, and then she decided to join our team and to transform her life. So without further ado, can you unmute yourself, beautiful, and tell us how Isagenix has changed your life.
Well, first of all, thank you, team, for inviting me to your call tonight. I really am honored and privileged to be here. And thank you, Christina, for asking me to do my energy story. out of all of the things that Isagenix transforms, I'm so happy Christina asked me to do the energy story, because for me, the energy has been the most transformative piece of my Isagenix transformation. Before Isagenix, I was 37 years old. I'm 43 years old now, so I've been with Isagenix for almost 6 years. And there was two really big things in my life that were impacting the lack of my energy. The first thing was that I have two autoimmune / metabolic disorders, and because Isagenix doesn't claim to cure or prevent disease, that's one of our disclaimers. I want to say that to you. I'm not going to tell you exactly what the diagnoses are. If you guys ever wanted to message me, I'm more than happy to share. I'm very transparent. But I have two metabolic disorders that impact my energy and my metabolism. And then the second piece is that I was a brand new mommy. So I was an older mom, and I at the time was 9 months postpartum with my beautiful baby boy who I love to death. And again, I just told you I'm transparent, so I'm very open about this. I struggled for 10 years to get Brendan. I had a lot of fertility treatment, and he's my little miracle baby. He was my very last try. And so you can imagine for 10 years of wanting something so bad, his birth was much anticipated. The only thing was, at the time, between my diagnoses and being a brand new mom, the baby had colic and GERD, so he was eating off of me every 45 minutes to an hour. He wasn't sleeping very much. I wasn't sleeping very much. I was constantly covered in vomit because he had reflux. So I wasn't really nailing the new mom thing. In fact, I always joke and say I was a Pinterest fail mom. It like just wasn't happening, which is kind of funny for me because in my life, I've always been, I'm not bragging or anything, but I was just always naturally good at, school and things of that nature. So I just it was hard for me to accept that I wasn't necessarily winning this one, right? But needless to say, so I was just really tired. I was completely deprived of nutrition. I didn't have a lot of sleep in me, so I felt it difficult to make myself a meal. My husband travels all the time. He's in corporate America, and his position requires him to travel. So I was a new mom without any help, lack of sleep, the list goes on, didn't have a lot of good nutrition. In fact, if I made it out of the house, if I managed to get dressed that day, I was finding myself rolling through a popular coffee chain to get a huge thing of coffee. And Debbie knows probably which chain this is, if you guys know WBB. But anyway, that was my sustenance for the day. It was rolling through there. I was getting a little bit of energy and then a rapid crash and probably a whole lot of chemicals in that coffee. So I was just depleted. So what happened was my friend Jen Lee, she was a friend of a childhood friend of mine, actually the girlfriend of a childhood friend, and she introduced me to Isagenix. And I, at nighttime, would scroll through my Facebook, and I would see pictures of this beautiful blonde, and I was interested in her yoga pants and her gym selfies. It's funny, what you're attracted to. But I just was fascinated with her, and then all of a sudden she started posting these transformations from this nutrition company. And I will tell you, I used to work with professional athletes. I'm a clinical exercise physiologist before I was an RN. So I had a lot of companies in my past approach me on nutrition products, and I was multiple certified over as a trainer too. I never liked any of them because I found them chock full of artificial ingredients, chock full of chemicals. I just thought they were garbage. I was very skeptical of supplements. I was old school, eat and go to the gym. That was me. Until I saw Jen Lee post on Facebook that this company, per clinical study, has shown to take down visceral fat more than 40% than any other company out there. And visceral fat, that dangerous sticky fat around the organs, I know this is very clinical for some of you, but that for me was the trigger that made me call her. And I'm like, what is this that you are selling? And she's like, it's Isagenix. And I go, Jen, I'm sorry. I'm like, send me every single product that you have with every single ingredient. Okay, I'm the pain in the butt customer. Every single ingredient with all the clinical studies. I don't believe you. I've never seen anything like that before. So for 3 months, you guys, I sat there and I went through every single ingredient. So sometimes I think, I think I found something fishy in here. And every time, this company is so transparent. They had a clean answer for everything, where something was sourced. this high quality control. So I was just like, I can't find anything wrong with this stuff. So my bottom, going back to my bottom, was at 9 months postpartum. And I, in 1 week, had been in the pediatrician's office in tears, asking the doctor when this baby was going to sleep. And I had known this doctor for a while because I'm a nurse. And he's like, Gina, he's like, you've lost your shine. He's like, where's your bubbles? Because he always just called me bubbly. And I didn't have it anymore because I was so depleted and so tired. The second thing that happened that week, that beautiful baby that I had spent 10 years in a lot of painful treatment, I'm not going to lie to you, my fertility treatment wasn't comfortable. I felt like I was failing him as a mother. I was in a retail store and I had to buy a pair of shoes because my husband had a business thing that I was supposed to go to, and I needed a pair of shoes. And this baby was crying so hard that his face was beet red. He was sweating. He was trying to get out of the stroller. I didn't even have the strength to pick the child up out of the stroller. I was done. And I sat at the end cap of the shoe aisle, you know, that little stool with the mirror on it that you look at your shoe. I sat on top of it and I folded over and I lost it. I had a mental breakdown. I was bawling. I get a tap on my shoulder and there's a sweet little old lady standing above me. She must have been close to 80 years old. And she's like, honey, she's like, can I take your baby for you? And she took that baby, she bounced it up on its knee. She took Brendan, was bouncing him on the knee like grandmas do, and settled the baby down. And she looked at me and she's like, you look so tired. And I looked at her and I said, I think I'm a terrible mom. I'm sorry. I think I'm a terrible mother. And for all the time that I struggled to get that child, I didn't understand why I was failing at this. Like I didn't want that for him. I wanted to be the best mom I could be. I wanted to play with him. I wanted to be joyful for him. And I just had all the joy sucked from my soul. So I called Jen Lee that night after 3 months of looking at all these products. And I go, Jen, please just order. And during those times, you guys, like 6 years ago, we gave our social security numbers. And she didn't tell me why. And I'm a retired police officer, so you can see how that was a little uneasy for me, right? So I gave her my social. I was just at the bottom, like, just take it here, let's go. And she's like, gee, do me one thing while you're doing this. She's like, just trust the process. And I'm like, I will. So day 4, everybody has a magic number. Day 4 was my magic number. For my whole life, I never knew what it was like to truly feel vibrance because of the, disorders that I have. I was the one that was always at home on the couch in my pajamas, never going out with my friends, even though I love people. Like, I'm so extroverted, but that was just my life. I thought that was normal. Day 4, I don't know if you guys know who Tanya Kirkpatrick is. She told me that taking Isagenix is like swallowing a rainbow. Well, I will tell you, by day 4, I felt like I swallowed the rainbow. I was riding the unicorn with a leprechaun hitched up on the back. I had so much energy. And that energy, you guys, for the last 6 years, almost 6 years, has not stopped for me. And there is a difference with these products. It is the science, it is the quality. And I will tell you, after Isagenix, yes, I became the mom that I always dreamed that I would be. And you guys might see my Facebook page. My little boy is all over it. I always tell people he's Facebook famous. Brendan's Facebook famous. People want to know about him more than they want to know about me. But I will tell you that the transformation that I had wasn't just physical. It's not just about the physical energy. I will tell you that every single bit of it, this team, this community has breathed every single bit of positivity, passion, and purpose back into my life that I never knew I had or could have. So I just want to thank you all for that. Thank you for letting me share my story. And if you haven't got these products in your body, I always tell people you don't know what you don't know. Just trust the process, get them in, and get your transformation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, did anybody else cry through this story? Oh my God, girl, I love you. And as a mom myself, I've been there, and I can understand the struggles, the energy, the having to be able to, perform at the level that you deserve, the baby deserves. And after what you've gone through, oh my gosh, I love you. And I am so grateful you're part of this team. And I I know without a doubt that your story will impact other moms out there that are searching for a solution. And the fact that, you know, you got the rainbow, the unicorn, and the leprechaun all together. I mean, I can relate. For me, it was day 5 is when it kicked in. And, you know, guys, I've shared this before, but my husband, I walked out of the door and he goes, I want what you're having. And I said, I'm not sharing, get your own. So, you know, it's like not sharing. So thank you so very much for your story. I love you. And we'll chat soon again. Okay. And I miss the fact that we're not all getting together in June for our celebration, but we'll see each other soon. Thank you, beautiful, so much. Guys, this is what we do. We don't sell a shake. We don't sell a product. I'm gonna start crying now. We don't sell things. We impact lives. Okay. Imagine her life without these products. Think of where, if you haven't started this yet, imagine where your life is right now and how beautiful it would feel to be riding a unicorn with a rainbow, right? Drinking a rainbow and having a leprechaun on your backpack, right? So it's hard to explain, and you don't know what you don't know, and until you put this product in your body, it's impossible. And people's like, oh, some people are gonna say, you know, some of you might say, well, it's probably too expensive. I know, and by raise of hands, I'm gonna give everybody the view with everybody. Raise your hand if you would pay 10 times as much as you originally paid to feel as good as we freaking feel, right? It's like everybody. I've always told Debbie, I'm like, I would have paid 10 times as much. So, you know, as a parent, I truly believe that, you know, we teach our children, and I mean, imagine the lifestyle that her son is going to have, because he knows and he's going to be healthy, and health issues might not, you know, he might not have health issues, because once you give your body what it needs, it does what it's supposed to. So, and healthy living starts at home. And we're, as parents, we want to teach our children, and they look at us and what are we teaching our children? You know, do we shop because of cost? And do we shop, are you making decisions based on the cost, or are you making decisions based on nutrition? Are you buying, you know, I read a thing, where was it? I wrote it down the other day. 60% of calories come from processed foods. 75% of the vegetables people eat are potatoes. Like, come on. You know, we're overfed and undernourished. I mean, undernourished, that's the word I'm looking for, and undernourished, some of us, I don't know. And we're starving for nutrients, right? So with that being said, I'm going to introduce you guys to our next speaker. And well, let me go to this, sorry. And I will go to him. Give me one sec. Where is his picture? There he is. I'm going to introduce you to Bob. Bob I mean, just reading that, I can't even, like, he's a paramedic in Los Angeles, which, you know, it's crazy as it is. I can't imagine being a paramedic. I tried being a paramedic here and I gave up. I'm like, this is too much. I can't imagine being one in LA. You know, Army medical specialist for 9 years, Special Force Rangers. I misspelled that, but father of 3, and he's released 36 pounds, right? If you guys have not tried these products, get back to the person that has invited you to this call, the person that has sent you this recording or has invited you to this live, because they love you and they care about you more than you know. We are here to save lives. We are here to make a difference. And Bob, we call him Cowboy Bob. Could you please unmute yourself and let us know what Isagenix has done for you, handsome?
Well, we'll start off with yeehaw. And I looked at those pictures of myself and I'm kind of embarrassed. But so 9 years in the U.S. Army as a medical specialist, 101st Airborne Special Forces. And what that means is that I knew my stuff. I was in good shape. I was at the top of my game for years. And then I had to be released because of a medical injury to my shoulder, where I took some metal. And so I came home, and as you can imagine, I gained weight. I gained a lot of weight, and I couldn't lose it. And I finally started to lose some weight, but there were certain things that I couldn't do. I couldn't lose certain weight. I was still in pain. I couldn't touch my fingers. Now, I know this sounds silly and we can't make medical claims. However, when you put good stuff in your system, good things happen. So I can do that, which is incredible. I can do push-ups with my hand. I could never get my hand bit more than that because of all the inflammation in there. So amazing things have happened to me. And I lost 36 pounds in 3 months, which got me below levels I could never do. And to me, that was amazing stuff. And I was full of energy, like Gina said. Jason, who's on the call, brought me in. I'm calling up Jason going, Jason, my crack dealer, how are you? Because I was feeling so good and finally feeling alive. So that's just part of my story. But the most amazing part of my story, the thing that grabs me by my heart, is my dad is 87 years old. My dad was in the military, in the Army, and he was in a very specialized unit as well. So he's always been wanting to get up and go walking and do stuff. And I would walk with my dad. And then we would get in. I mean, he would go for 8, 10, 12 miles. He could keep going, but it slowed down and it got to the point where walking around the house was hard for him. He had pain in his legs and it was getting difficult. And he saw what I was going through. He saw my transformation and said, I want what you have. So I said, okay, let's get you hooked up into this. And Gina, yours was 4 days in. My dad would go to bed at about 5 o'clock in the evening and wake up around 8. Well, 4th day in, here's 7 o'clock in the morning. Here's my dad going, hey, are we going to go for a walk? And I'm like going, yeah, let's go. Because I haven't walked with my dad in a long time. So it was hard. But we went for a couple of miles and we started walking. And the next day, and that night he goes to bed later. The next day he's up 7 o'clock. 3rd day after that, which is his 7th day, he's up going, let's go for a walk. And he's going to bed later and he's waking up earlier. And his energy level has increased. And the two of us together walking is an incredible sight. And when people come the other way, we're walking like that, and they look at your face and you're crying, they're kind of going, what's wrong with that guy? But I'm crying because I'm excited to be with my dad, walking in an area where he grew up. And I'm able to do this because of the products that I'm putting in me, of what's developing in my body. And Jason, when I worked with Jason, his system, he was in pain. And a month and a half later, I'm seeing Jason in videos working in the gym. And I'm going, wait, no. So I called him up and he told me. And I didn't look into it because I don't have a background, but I just trusted him. And he got me going. And Jason has changed my life, my family's life. My daughter's starting now. But another amazing thing is my wife for over 20 years was on blood pressure medication. 2 weeks after doing this, she has not had her medication. She hasn't talked to the doctor. Again, no medical claims here. Can't do that. But 2 weeks in, she's off her blood pressure medications and her levels are doing perfect. She's doing great. So the amazing things that I've seen and the stories that I've heard from other people make me know where my heart is. And my heart is right here with this family, with every one of you on here is where my heart is. And the development you guys have created.
And our heart is with you.
Thank you.
You're such an inspiration. And when you were saying that, there's this quote that I heard. I don't know who said it, but it says, "Don't let age change you. Change the way you age." And I truly feel that, right? I truly feel that Isagenix is doing that. As we age, we lose muscle mass, we mobility, we're experiencing energy, lower energy levels and so on and so forth. And we have people in this company that are in their 80s and 90s and living the best life. I mean, most people don't even make it to that age. I was unfortunate to lose my parents young, and I don't even have parents or grandparents because they didn't take care of themselves, right? So like Bob said, we're not making any medical claims. When you give your body what it needs, and I always use this analogy, it's like a book. If you want to write a book, which is what our body kind of is, you need to have all the letters of the alphabet. And if you're missing 2 or 3 letters of the alphabet, your body is kind of like, well, and maybe this is this word, or maybe it's that word, and it kind of makes it happen, right? And you've seen those games on like Facebook or whatever, where you like write them backwards and do all this stuff and you still can read it, right? Well, it gets to a point as we age, the less we put in, the less comes out, like the less energy we have, the less muscle we have, the less ability to do things we have, because we're trying to run on low fuel. And what happens to a car when it's out of fuel and out of oil and out of all the other good spark plugs and whatever else? I'm not a mechanic, I'm just saying. So Bob, thank you so much for sharing your story and your father's story, and I cannot wait to see where it goes next. And like you said, your wife and your whole family. This is, as a retired Army freaking amazing guy. I can't even although I don't know much about like the ranks, but just seeing all those years that you've dedicated and seeing and knowing, my father was in the military, but he was in a whole different country and it was completely different. But you've endured so much, right? And then you've done so many things to your body and damaged it from the lack of sleep and the training and the excessive this and excessive that. And to be able to just kind of like put this nutrition in your body, and your body goes, now I'm good. Like I can breathe, like Gina was saying, rainbows and unicorns. That's going to be my new thing, Gina. Thanks. Rainbows and unicorns. So thank you so much, Bob. You're a rock star, and we love having you on this team and in this family. So now guys, you hear about Bob sharing with his friends. You hear about, Gina's friend sharing with her. You hear about, I said earlier, Debbie sharing with me. People that have invited you to this call care about you. They're not trying to sell you things. They're not trying to, get you to buy their products. They are here to impact your life. So whether it is energy that you need, whether it's healthy aging that you need, whether it's an extra $200 or $500 or up, $100 in your bank account, right? We have the ability with this company. It is such a blessing, and they're just giving. They're giving us the best nutrition, and they're also giving us rewards for sharing with people we love. And as a result, your grocery bill declines, or it's non-existent in some cases. You're in a business where everyone is your customer. Everybody eats, and everybody deserves to feel their best, right? How much a month would make a difference in your life? It's up to you. This next beautiful lady that I'm bringing in, she's a rock star. She's made, multiple 6 figures. She's in the top, income earners in our company. Let me just share my screen here and bring her in. Well, that's not her, but I'm going to share you this. Gina was talking earlier about the different science, 56% more weight loss, 47% more fat loss, and twice as much visceral fat. That's the science that she was talking earlier. And if you want any more information on that, go to isogenicshealth.net, and you can see all the research and all the good stuff. So Colleen is a beautiful, bright star in this company. When she walks in the room, it just lights up. And she's a retired dentist. I mean, she went to school. She spent all the time and money learning how to put beautiful smiles like hers on other people's faces. And mother of 2, she's an executive. I believe she's 6-star. And she's been with the company for about 6 years. I'm not exactly sure, but she's been with us for a while. And she has put in the work for herself to transform her body. And she has put in shared the love with people she knows, people she cares about, people that they know and they care about. This is like having your online grocery store. And you go and you feel amazing, and you have the, the rainbow and the unicorn feeling. And then from there on, you're like, dude, do you want to know what it's like to ride on a unicorn, right? While drinking rainbow? And then you're like, okay, I'll drink your Kool-Aid, maybe, because it's 30 days money back guarantee, guys. I didn't mention that before, but our program comes with 30 days money back guarantee. So you've got nothing to lose, but you have everything to gain, right? Whether it's energy, like Gina was talking, whether it's healthy aging and beautiful energy and muscle mass in new life, like Bob was saying, or financial freedom, like Colleen is going to talk about. So beautiful. Can you unmute yourself and share with us what Isagenix has done for you?
I sure will. Can you hear me? All right, let's rock that. I'm having major technical difficulties, but we are here and ready to go. So as Christina mentioned, my name's Colleen Olitsky. I am a dentist, meaning I did go to school for 8 years, 4 years undergrad, 4 years dental, and actually met my now husband in dental school. We're dental school sweethearts. So when we graduated, we had over $400,000 worth of student loan debt. That's fine. You know, we went and worked for a corporate office for a couple of years before we decided to open our own office. Well, that's another $600,000-$700,000 loan. So at one point 15 years ago, we're $1 million in debt to be two dentists working in an office. And I mean, I did love it. I liked helping people and serving people. And my husband's incredibly gifted at what he does, you know, smile makeovers and cosmetics. And I liked doing the consults and talking with people and sharing how a smile, you know, could change their life. So it was rewarding. However, I always kind of had a sense I just didn't love it. And that's kind of a hard thing to admit when you've invested so much. You know, what are you going to do? You can't not work. And then we had 2 children. In 2008, we had a little boy named Chase. Gina, I can relate. He was colicky. It was horrific. And yes, I was always very good at everything and felt like the worst mom on earth, like such a failure. So yeah, that was horrible, very stressful. It was also when the recession hit, 2 years after we opened our office. So yeah, major stress. And then 2011, we had a little girl, Gabriella, and, you know, life was busy and it was crazy. And I always thought, you know, I was still, you know, doing good. And, you know, financially being a dentist can be great. The average dentist makes about $150,000 a year. And of course, some make a lot more and some maybe a little bit less, but that's the average. And it is stressful though. You have to deal with the insurance. You have to deal with unhappy patients. You have to deal with an $80,000 a month overhead. Now, every office is different, but ours in particular, if we don't collect and produce $80,000, we don't eat that month, you know, so to speak. We don't pay ourselves. And so that can be very stressful. You have, you know, bigs up and bigs downs. So I guess it was around the summer of 2014, I had just had it. I was only working, I mean, it was not a full-time, you know, dentist at that point because my kids were 6 and 3. And I just remember those summers, like having to like drop them off at camp or with a babysitter and having to go to work on these beautiful, I live in Florida and I love the sun, and I'd have to be at work and I'd be staring out the window like I should be at home with my kids. I should be at the pool with the kids. I want to take my kids to the beach. I was really just, I was unhappy. And it sounds, you know, ungrateful because, you know, on the outside it looks like we have this great life, but I was just miserable. I was drowning. It was stressful. I was always kind of racing back and forth and trying to keep myself in shape and, you know, be the good mom and, you know, cook the food and clean the house and run the business and just do everything. And I had watched a woman named Jennifer on Facebook for about a year or 2. And she had reached out a couple of times and I sort of ignored her because I wasn't going to do one of those things. Like, what is that pyramid thing? Like, I just didn't even know what she was talking about. And I wasn't even open to hearing it, but I was watching her. And I love that she was posting these before and afters. And I've always been into health and fitness, nutrition. Even at that time, having 2 kids, I was still, you know, very fit. And the thing that really caught my eye was she must have been shooting through the ranks at that point, meaning doing very well. And I think it was a post celebrating her making like $400,000 or $500,000, something that to me was like, holy, you know what? Like, as a dentist, I'm like, we'll never make that. And 2 of us, I'm like, that's just insane. And that is what caught my eye. And so I called her. And at that point, not that I didn't care what the product was. I came in for the business. I'm one of those rare people that said, you know what? I want to do something different. And I didn't know what I could do. I mean, again, I liked working out, but I didn't want to be a personal trainer because I'd still be trading time for money. And no offense to personal trainers, but I want to make more. I mean, I'm very money motivated. And then I was like, I love being outside. Well, I can't lifeguard. Same thing. How can I watch my kids and be a lifeguard? And, you know, 10, 15 bucks an hour is not going to cut it. So it really intrigued me. And of course, once I put the nutrition in my body, I didn't have a big physical transformation because I didn't have a lot to lose, but it was the convenience and the energy. And I was someone who was so against shakes and vitamins, and I was a whole food person. I mean, through and through. But once I understood, you know, how our food is nutritionally bankrupt at this point and that we do need to supplement. And when, and I wasn't just looking for something wrong with the company. I kept on digging deeper and deeper to see what is wrong with this, but I couldn't find anything wrong. And those first few months, I started sharing right away. And I did really well. Income disclaimer, you only get what you put into it. We'll leave it at that. But by my third month, I had made $4,000 in 1 month, that third month. And it was like, oh my God, now it's not what a dentist made, but I was at home and it was so fun. And I loved learning. I loved learning about this company. And I love personal growth. If you see over here, I have all my books, some of them. I'm in a rental right now, so it's only half my books. I love reading, books on personal growth and self-development. And I really felt like in this environment, I was able to really just, be myself and grow. And I was encouraged to do so. And I loved that I could still have an impact on people's lives. So those first few months, I was getting texts back like, I lost 10 pounds. My husband said I was hot, or whatever those things were. It just warmed my heart. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I did well, the first, 2 years, it was great, but I kind of, I was kind of plateaued. And it was when I kind of took the vision off of myself and started pouring it into my team of sharing the wealth creation for them. That's when things really took off, because most people, if they're not aware that there is an opportunity attached, then how do they know? And it is our job to tell them, because most people are struggling. And it doesn't have to be that way. And you may love your full-time job. You may not want to be someone who steps away from that. But could you imagine just putting in 3, 4, 5 hours a week and creating something else? Maybe $500, $1,000 a month, something like that will change your life. Be open to that. And I would guess that'd be the one thing I'd want to leave you with is just be open to learning. And I know it has to be your time. Again, it took me 2 years to even look at it. And we understand that. And as Christina's mentioned, if someone shares this with you, it's because they love you, or it's because they want to be able to go on vacations with you and have fun with you, or they see that you're struggling with your health and nutrition and they have something that can help you. So just be open to learning more. And as she said, there's a money back guarantee as far as the health side's concerned. And it really is just such an incredible product. And then the opportunity on the other side, I run a business. I run a traditional, we still have our office. My husband still works and I run that business. It's hard. And right now, the whole coronavirus thing, we never in a million years thought he'd make zero. And what I mean by that is we've always planned for having lower bad months. We even planned if you were to get disabled and not work anymore, he teaches because he's one of the best in the country. So we're like, oh, he'll just teach. We can always have that to fall back on. No big deal. That's been taken away. He can't teach. He can't do anything. It's been over 6 weeks now. And guess what? We're not stressed. Now, again, we don't like it. Obviously, it's not ideal, but life's good. My income more than supports what we need at home. We're in the middle of building a brand new house. And so, yeah, you could say, hey, bad timing for that. But you know what? It's not, because we live well below our means and my income can take care of everything. And it's like, usually it's extra, to have other opportunities and to invest in other things and to be able to give to whatever charities. I can say yes to, to anything. And that's a beautiful place to be in. And it just creates choices. And there may be some new skills you have to learn, and that's okay. You have a beautiful team here led by Jeff and Deb Beebe, who are amazing. You have everything you need. You'll have all the support you need. And just like anything else, it's okay, to fall down and get back up. But you have to see that vision of what's if and what's possible. So I just really encourage you. If someone who is a dentist can walk away from her profession and the 8 years of school, the $200,000 worth of student loans, and try something new, give it a go. The worst that can happen is you're getting the best health of your life, and you may have a few family members that join you and you're impacting their health too. You may make a couple $100 and okay, fine. And that's still just amazing. So I say, go for it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Imagine if you didn't have Isogenics right now, both of you would be, she's like, no, don't remind me.
No, I really can't. It's awful.
Right. And it's beautiful. Like you were talking about, trading time, you're no longer trading time for money. You're a full-time mom, you're a full-time wife. And I know you probably still help your husband with the office and other things out there, because that's what we do, but you don't have to trade time for money any longer. And, you're right. So, the thing is, you went to school for 8 years, right? And you were in debt hundreds of thousands of dollars to learn a profession that you're getting zero from right now because you walked away.
Yeah.
Isogenics, you get paid as you learn, and you get paid for life residual income for the work you've done all these years. And it keeps going and it keeps going. Like I said earlier, it's like an online grocery store. And imagine walking into your favorite Whole Foods. Everybody knows what Whole Foods is, right? Not Whole Foods, but IsoFoods. Online grocery store. And they say, hey, try this product for 30 days. And if you love it, then tell your friends and your family members to come shop at your ISO store, right? Your online grocery store. And we will pay you 6% of everything everybody buys endless for life. I mean, most people, you see them swiping the little tiny card to save 50 cents on gas or on, like a box of, whatever pasta or something they're buying, right? Because you never find those sales on like good, healthy veggies. It's always the processed foods, right? So, for some, it's maybe $1,000. For some, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's you're the limit. You create your own limit. Well, there isn't. Isogenics puts no limit. And we have what, 300 and I have no idea. How many millionaires do we have, Colleen? Do you know?
313 maybe?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that, right? And we have a bunch of them on our team. And you see them, just like you said. I mean, when I started, I remember Jeff and Debbie turned executive when I turned consultant. And I remember her sending me a screenshot. She's like, I made $2,000. And now she's, a millionaire with the company. And that was like 5 years ago. It's beautiful to know that you've put 6 years into this company and you have residual income for life that you can actually pass on to your children, right? I mean, it's incredible. And your success is phenomenal. And it's hard work. I mean, you're a determined woman. You do not stop once you go on your track. And your success is inspiring. And I am so grateful that you're part of our amazing team. And I'm so grateful that I've seen your beautiful smiley face ever since like I started. We were both like about the same time. You were in it for a little bit and you just took it and ran with it. And it's beautiful. And you've impacted so many lives. That's what it is. It's like the more money you make in Isogenics, that means the more lives you've impacted. How many, if you don't mind me asking, how many people do you have in your downline?
About 9,700.
9,700 people, right?
I've enrolled about 400 and 9,700 on my team. So talk about leverage, people.
Right. If you had 400 patients at your clinic, you wouldn't get paid on 9,000 of them, right?
No, certainly not. And that's something where both businesses are very similar. I know people like to poo-poo all over network marketing, but everything I do with this business is exactly what I did with dentistry. We have to market to get clients. Well, that's what we do here. And there's a normal level of attrition. Well, patients move away or, lose their insurance. So you're always looking for, someone new. And if someone has a dental problem, I hear them talking about it, of course I'm going to say, hey, go see Jason. We're amazing. Of course I'm going to share that. And when someone refers us people, Susan, my Isogenics teammate, she's referred us several patients at the office. We've rewarded her with flowers, gift cards, because we want her to do more of that. Like, it's normal. Like, it's not weird. It's what we do.
Well, I mean, I don't mean this in a bad way, but like most people don't like going to the dentist.
No, they hate it. That's not a good
But now I think most people want to hang out with you, right? You're like, go see Colleen instead of like, oh crap, I got a toothache, I gotta go see Colleen. It's a whole different vibe, right? Well, beautiful. Thank you so much for your share. I am in love with our team. I'm in love with this company and these products. And anybody that wants to know more about how they can free their family from financial pain or physical pain or whatever kind of pain they're in, and we're all in all kinds of pain, especially now more than ever, get back to the person that invited you to the Zoom, because they have the answer. Whether they're on day 1 or day 100 or they've been with this company for 10 years, they will recommend you the exact same things we are. And they were gonna guide you and get you started with the best thing to fit your goals, the best thing to achieve your goals. And you'll have the support, just like I actually wrote this down when Gina was talking about, you'll have the positivity, the passion, and the purpose. If you don't have it yet, we will help you find those things, because that's what we are. You're in the business for yourself, but not by yourself. So I'm gonna go ahead and share here my screen a little bit. I wanted to show you guys, a little bit about, I'll just scroll down to the bottom. Lose inches, recapture the energy needed to push through the day. Does that sound like somebody we heard today, right? And your workouts, and look younger at the end of every day and feel younger, just like Cowboy Bob shared about his dad, right? With Isogenics, the power to transform your life is in your hands. And I have here pros and cons. You've heard some of those pros today: more energy, less stress, better sleep, increased mental clarity, joint relief, we're gluten-free, non-GMO, soy-free. So all those, scientific things that Gina was looking for, you've got it. All the health and fitness and the things some of your friends and family might be looking for, we've got it. Money back guarantee. The only cons is worrying about not working for you. You've got nothing to lose. So thank you guys so much for joining us this evening. We are going to be here again next Tuesday. So if you have any friends or families that would like to know more about what we do, we're going to be here next weekend. Next Tuesday, not next weekend, next week. And thank you so much. And I hope that you can join us in our Isogenics family. And I promise you, you will love it. Have an amazing day. And thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and unmute everybody. Let me stop this recording.